today's video, we're going to be checking out the difference between a 10-second and 10-hour animation.
I have done a stickman playing basketball animation in 10 seconds, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 10 hours.
I love these videos.
Let's play basketball.
I'm so excited. Okay, so we have the 10-second animation first.
You know how quickly these 10 seconds pass.
Yep, here we go.
Like
we're already halfway through.
The single frame, and our basket ended up looking like a butterfly catching net with a big hole in it.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. So 10-second animation.
Profile picture for the black stickman.
That's it. It's not even really an animation. It's just one frame. Next up, we have 1 minute.
This was the first time I was animating on the updated version of Flip-a-Clip.
Oh,
so
it looks
I couldn't
cool.
find some things easily. Still, I
Interesting.
went ahead, drew the basketball pole and the net, and added 5 frames so we could get the ball in the basket.
Nice. Okay, we have a couple frames cooking.
While animating the ball, I felt like he is throwing the Pokemon ball rather than the basketball.
Also, guys, a lot of you were commenting some answers to my questions in the last 10-second versus 10-hour stickman animation. We have confirmed that the program is called Flip-a-Clip, so if you guys want to check that out and make some of your own animations, definitely do so. It seems pretty easy to use. And we also figured out that the other colored animated clips here are called onion frames, which is pretty much where you look at your previous frame so that you can build the next frame based on the previous frame so that it kind of looks like an animation.
Still, that basket convinces me that it is a basketball video. I was able to throw the ball and make it through the basket, but time was needed before I could make any additional frames.
I like that he also keeps it to the time limit. Like, he doesn't add any extra time.
At least we got something here. Also, huge improvement from the last time.
Okay, you can see what's happening. It kind of reminds me of one of those like little flip book animations that, usually takes a lot of time to make, but it kind of looks pretty similar to that so far. But let's check out 10 minutes next.
First, I made the base. Then I drew the supporting pole, backboard, rim, and net.
Interesting.
The net looks pretty easy to draw, but it is difficult if you draw it without any reference or practice. Here I didn't take any reference, so it looks messed up.
I think it looks pretty good.
Time for our stickman to take a free throw.
Okay, so we spent 3 minutes on that.
I just studied some rules of basketball and watched a couple of games to create this video.
Nice.
So if I get any terms or words wrong, correct me in the comments.
You're telling me he's not a baller?
Basketball, which we get in emojis.
Oh, cool. Look at him go. You can see the onion frames are cooking. The ball flies through the air, and then it'll go right through the hoop.
When 2 minutes were remaining, I added the head.
Oh, nice. I also figured out, too, in the previous animation and also on this animation, that he draws the stick figure body and the arms and the legs first, and then adds the head in later. For whatever reason, it seems like that process seems to work. I'm not really sure why, so comment down below if that's a personal preference, or if there's a reason why he's adding the head in after he animates the full body.
Added a couple of frames in the last few seconds, and our animation was ready.
Oh, cool. Okay, so he did animate the net. I was worried he wouldn't be able to get to that. Let's see how this looks. Whoa. Whoa!
Shot.
That's really good. What? He made that in 10 minutes, too. Oh my god, that is so impressive.
Here I thought background should be an outdoor basketball court. Drew the basket
cool.
on the floor with basic markings.
I really like how when he has more time, he adds more to the environment, where if it was me making it, because I'm not a professional at all or not even close, I would focus a lot of time on the actual stickman animation and not really worry about the background as much, but it makes it 10 times better when he has like a full background with now like an outdoor area and a sky, and he's going to add some grass, and it looks like the net already looks a lot better, and he's only spent 5 minutes on this animation so far.
I wanted to draw the real grass, so I used a hairbrush. But I thought this would consume more time, so I painted on it with an airbrush.
Okay.
It gave the background some depth.
Yeah, okay, that looks pretty good. I like it.
The background was looking a bit empty, so I decided to add the trees.
Oh, good thinking.
Before finalizing the background, I changed the basketball floor's perspective.
Let's see. Oh, okay. Nice. Good thinking.
For animation, I had the idea that I should go with 2 stickmen. One in defense and one in attack.
Nice.
I
okay,
finalized
cool.
The yellow and black stickmen.
I wonder if that means for the 10-hour animation, is he going to make it another 1v1 basketball duel, or will he make it like a full-on 5v5, which sounds like a lot of animation work, to be honest. All right, we can see the onion frames.
Stickman, I realized that I would not be able to add another stickman.
Oh, yeah, so he's running out of time.
The yellow stickman.
Okay, so maybe for the 10-hour one, he could do a 1v1.
Point area. And for a twist, he fakes a shot and then takes the shot with a jump.
Oh,
Here
neat.
I chose the yellow stickman because it was the only one that didn't merge into the background.
Good thinking. Yeah,
drew
that'll
and added
pop.
the same basketball as before. Remember
Oh, yeah, that
the
looks
moving
good.
ball not only moves up and down, but also moves forward. It follows
Yeah.
the diagonal path like this.
That must be really difficult to animate something like that.
I added the head and in the last few minutes and animated the net. With some corrections, our animation was ready.
Wow. And his time management is impeccable. Like, if it was me doing it once again, I would probably be only halfway done the animation by the time the hour was ready to be up. So it's really impressive that he's able to fit it all in and then also complete the animation. All right, there we go. We got Yellow Stickman, and that looks really good. I mean, it looks like the frame rate is a little bit low, but it works. It really does. That's awesome. Even the jump animation looks great. The net animation, it all looked impeccable.
This was going to be in a proper basketball indoor stadium.
Oh,
I looked at some
nice.
reference images of the court so I could draw the lines properly.
There you go. Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at him. This is awesome. And he's making it all in such a basic
I
stickman
wanted to
animation
include some
program.
audience, so I left space above the court and added the seats.
Cool. Oh yeah, the environment's gonna look really good in this one. Maybe he can even add in some
I
fans.
also placed the LED displays I saw in some games. I
Yo!
used them to name our court Stickman Basketball Arena.
That's so
I
sick.
also added the reflection of those displays on the surface outside the playing area.
It looks like he
Once I
used
thought to
the
add
Sega
audience, but I
text.
kept it for later. Then I started to create the right side of the court, which was just a mirror image of the left side court except for the text on the display and its reflection.
Okay, so it looks like in this, he just said that he's going to have two different scenes set up. He'll have the left side and the right side, and he was able to do that pretty quickly by just mirroring the images.
Now we had two backgrounds covering both sides. I wanted to create a third background, which will only be used to show the transition from one side to another, and also
Cool.
will give a complete view of the court.
Okay, so he has three different angles that he's going to be using. That'll actually make for a pretty good animation. I wonder if he spends just like
Here,
one
proportions
entire
were
day
different,
animating.
and I had to extend the field of view, so I decided to add the huge central display, which is also
Oh,
called
yeah.
the Jumbotron.
Huge Jumbotron. That usually shows like the players, the
I also
stats,
added
the score.
seats, which were just copy-paste of the previous background. but I
Good,
had to
yeah, you're
adjust
saving
their
time.
size. I was ready to start the Stickman animation, but I thought I should add some light and shadows, which can
Wow.
give a different vibe to viewers.
Okay, yeah, that's really impressive that he's already adding such detail, such like early on into this animation, because he really hasn't done any animating work yet. He's just setting up each of the scenes, which I guess if you're animating, that's probably step number one. You want to have your scenes down before you actually start animating stuff onto those scenes.
After 2 hours of background work, I started animating the Stickman.
Oh,
I
cool.
decided to include 4 characters.
Okay,
Blue
so
and
a
black is the
2v2.
team on the right, while red and green on the left. I started with a left side background with black and blue attacking. Blue held the ball, dribbled, and then passed it to black, who scored.
Oh,
I added the
neat.
same ball as before. Here I made some adjustments to the trajectory of the floating basketball.
Okay, so I wonder if that line that he's drawing, is that going to like automatically animate the basketball to follow the line that he's drawing? Or is the line going to actually be in the animation?
I used the circle tool for it, marked the trajectory, and then added the ball accordingly. I added the ball from early on because I had to time everything together.
It's so cool watching the Stickman run
Once I
around
added
without
the
any
ball, I had to
heads.
draw the all Stickman in that frame itself. Because I add an in-between frame, it will also become the in-between frame for the basketball, and the timing would go off.
Ah, okay.
After black and blue, I added the green and red Stickman.
So far, it's looking really
I
good.
also added the animation to the net.
Yeah, that's the best net animation yet. It really just makes
Here,
the whole
green
thing
and
come
red
together.
Stickman's task was nothing but to react to the black and blue Stickman's movement because they knew the script.
I see.
After finishing all 4 Stickman actions and timing them, I decided to add the head so I could manage the remaining time. I completed the whole left side animation just above the 6-hour mark.
It's so funny how he's adding like one head at a time. So for a little bit there, it looked like a bunch of defenders without any heads were just playing basketball.
It was time to animate the second scene. This scene was only to show the transition, or shift of the play from the left to the right side of the court.
Honestly, if he made this the only scene in the 10-hour animation, I would have been impressed because this entire thing looks very amazing, to be honest. The background looks awesome. The little Stickman Basketball Arena logo looks really cool. And he could have just animated characters going back and forth here. But instead of that, he added 3 different scenes so that you could get like close-up views of the Stickman being animated and playing basketball. Nice touch.
Since it was a view from far away, I had to reduce the size of the ball and the Stickman. I
Smart.
added every Stickman. Also added the head and the ball.
Yeah,
This took
the
about
perspective
45
changes.
minutes, and we had 3 hours remaining for our final scene. From that, I reserved 1 hour for head placement and some adjustments.
1 hour for head
we had
placement.
2 hours in hand.
That's
After
insane.
I
It takes
shifted
that
to
long.
the final scene and created a third project, I didn't enable the time-lapse recording button,
No.
which I realized after hitting 10 hours mark.
No.
I was angry and frustrated, but I still needed to go for it again. So, I said, let's go for it.
Oh my gosh,
I
wait,
kept
did
a
he
few
he
frames
did
of
it.
Green Stickman
No
from the
way.
time-lapse project, and for that, I deducted 30 minutes and went for the 2 hours and 30 minutes.
That's insane. So he did the entire project, completed it, realized he didn't record it, so then he like basically just erased it other than that little part with the green stick man, and then he's doing it all over again, which is pretty cool.
Here,
That
Green
just shows his
dribbles the ball and
dedication.
passes it to Red. Red
Oh,
catches the ball,
goes for a
jumps and
dunk?
dunks it into the net.
Yo, that's gonna be so
Powerful shot.
sick.
After that, they run to celebrate.
Oh, I
Green has
can't
some
wait to
nice
see that.
skills. He should
Oh,
play
yeah.
in the NBA.
Look at that. He's doing like through the legs, and then he
I will
gives him
show
a
you the
nice
result of the
alley-oop.
No time-lapse project after our 10-hour version. You can tell me which one you like the most.
I mean, it's gotta
Here I
be the
reduced
10-hour
time of
one,
the
right?
Animation and decided to animate some audience which I neglected in the no time-lapse project.
Oh, cool. So even though he completed the original time-lapse project but didn't record it, it honestly turned out for the best. So sometimes that just goes to show that your failures sometimes lead to successes when you might not even realize it.
After some corrections and adjustments, our animation was ready.
Yeah, the background looks great, especially with all of the fans. All right, let's see how this turned out because, yeah, he had to add fans for every single section too. All right, so we got Black with the ball. Boom, splash. The net animation looks amazing. All right, Red has the ball, passes it back to Green. All right, it looks like it's the fourth quarter. He added that in maybe after the fact. Green's going in, tosses it up, alley-oop to Red for the win. Dude, I love how Blue and Red were standing there like, are you serious? Did we really just let that happen? I do notice maybe like some small errors, like when you see Green run off the screen, his head is like, I can't really tell if it's just because the frame rate is low, but it kind of looks like his head disappears like right at the end. But like that's the only weird thing that I've noticed so far. Also, the score is insanely high for a 2v2. Boom. That is awesome. It would be cool to see if he was able to do it even more than 10 hours. Wait, maybe that's actually what we're watching. Maybe, yeah. Oh yeah, wait, he did actually animate more. Never mind. It's like he heard me. This is awesome. That was so
Thanks
cool.
for watching.
Wow. All right, well, that was 10 seconds versus a 10-hour animation with some additional edits at the end.